fair time is for Hunger Games. This is just a gush fest. She's about to go to the arena. Peter has confessed his love. Mockingjay broke me. I am a broken woman. Why am I here? I'm here because I need to start this video. This isn't going to be the introduction because this is just messy, chaotic, everything. But I'm going on holiday to New York. T-minus 12 hours? Less than 12 hours. I haven't packed yet. Now, insert crazy girl.
Wow. Crazy. You're crazy, girl.
But why am I here? I'm here because I want to read the Hunger Games. That's all I want to do. If you know how many books that are out that I've got in my library, that I've waited for however long for them to come to my library, and I just don't care. I just don't want to read them. Is it affecting my, what's it called? What's this? Iridium? Yeah, it is. Anyway, what I care about is I want to read Hunger Games. And so because that's what I want to do, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put on Hunger Games whilst I get myself ready. Now, what version I'm going to listen to? I don't think there's like a graphic version. And to be honest with you, I don't know if that's what I'd want to listen to. To me, that just feels like a lot going on. Like I have the movie if I want to watch all of that madness. It turns out it is on Scribd, but I think I'm going to first finish listening to Word Slut because like that's a book that I need to read for Iridium and I haven't been reading it. So I'm going to first listen to that and then I'll start Hunger Games. And apparently it includes a special edition recording of the first audiobook. What that means I don't know, but I'm sure I'll fill you in. Okay. Gosh, so it's my first day in New York, New Jersey. I say New York, New Jersey because I'm actually in New Jersey right now. I'm in my aunt's house in New Jersey, and yeah, I'm having a fabulous time. Very much a chill day. Do I look like I'm having a chill day? I don't know. The theme is green and purple. Even though, as I said, we're having very much a chill day. But I'm just here to talk to you about Hunger Games. Obviously, that's why I'm here. You might hear background noise of the family because, as I said, family holiday. So yes, I read the first couple chapters. I'm gonna say 3 chapters because I didn't read on the plane at all whatsoever. Now, is the plane a good reading time? Yeah, it is. But instead, I was watching The Cleaning Lady, and I have 0 regrets. I'm now obsessed. But anyway, I started the Hunger Games once we landed, I think. So like on the train and stuff. So that's why I've only got like 3 chapters in. But I actually like my family, so we talk a lot as well. So I haven't read that much. But I'm just reminded of how much I love this. So let me just do an introduction for the Hunger Games in case you don't know. It's set in a world called Panem, which used to be North America. It used to be America. But since there's been like environmental stuff and like basically the apocalypse, depending on what you want to call the apocalypse, but like an apocalypse. And so out of that has risen this dystopian society in which there are the capital and 12 districts. And in District 12, we meet our protagonist, Katniss Everdeen. And it's about these trials where every year a girl and a boy from each district get put into this dome, this arena. There we go. I was trying to find the word. The 2 children from each district are put into the arena where they fight to the death. And the arena changes every year. And this is the 74th annual Hunger Games. And yeah, so we are introduced to Katniss in District 12 the day of the reapings, the day where they pick the 2 people who are going to go into the games. Absolutely loved it. Like, so much happened. I realized it's so propulsive. Like, so much happened in chapter 1. Like, the entire setup of it you learn in chapter 1. I think Suzanne Collins does such a good job at moving the plot so quickly. Like, you're literally flying through the plot. Like, by the end of chapter 1, I believe, all the big thing that happens, like at the end of chapter 1, we're at the reapings, I'm so sure. So like, that happens a lot, and you learn about the history of the world and so much action all in one, and I love that. I love that because me personally, like, I'm not here for the slow books, and maybe this is part of it. Maybe this is why I've been conditioned to not really be here for the slow books, because I'm like, give me what I need to know, whilst also keep the plot going, whilst also tell me so much about the characters. Like, so much about the characters was shoved in here. I don't know quite how she managed to pack so much in such a short period of time. But yeah, I mean, if you don't, I love the Hunger Games. Always have, always will. But I will say that I haven't read Hunger Games in a while. I feel like it shows. I'm reading it and I'm not like immediately knowing what's on the next bit. Well, I am. I'm lying to you. I don't know. It's not like I can tell you word for word what's gonna happen on the next page. I just know the sequence of events so well. So it's nice to be re-reminded of the actual words on the page. Do you know what I mean? And because like I loved the movies as well. I mean, I didn't initially when it first came out, but because I enjoyed it, but I was like, it's not the same. Especially the second movie. Was not a fan at the time. But anyway, let's get back to the topic. Since I'm so familiar with the movies as well, like, it's all become like one sort of distinct image in my brain of the Hunger Games. So yeah, and I think another reason why I haven't read it in a while is because the song Ballad Sings came out, and so when it was time for like my reread of Hunger Games, I think instead I had read Ballad. And also I kind of wanted to take some time between Ballad and reading the Hunger Games again, because Ballad was the prequel that didn't need to exist. Anyway, I'm gonna go. But yeah, the next time I talk to you, I'll be a couple more chapters in, and I'll have spent more time in New York and New Jersey. So, thriving, living. Today is such a nice day, but I've kind of terrified myself. I've terrified myself with hornets. I mean, obviously they've all come out because of the sun, and they are freaking terrifying looking things. And there was a couple, and I terrified myself, so yeah. But I'm just going for a walk, and yeah, and I'm listening to Hunger Games. So yeah, I'm gonna go see what's around. Hi guys, so walking back now. Today is a travel day where we're going from New Jersey to another part of New Jersey, but not like New Jersey to New York, which is another day. And I just want to say I'm fully invested in Hunger Games now. There's a hornet there. It's massive. And I'm just gonna give it some space. It's going away. It's gonna add you straight back. So I'm just gonna cross the road because I'm not fighting the hornets. There's quite a lot of hornets out. So that's one. And there's another hornet. This is Hornets Lane. I don't understand. I'm gonna walk in the middle of the road. As I was saying before I entered Hornetsville, I'm now at the point in Hunger Games where I'm invested. That's why I had to go for a walk, so I could listen to Hunger Games. I mean, I'm always invested, but like now it's like super invested. Do you know what I mean? Like the first chapter, I'm like, but like I know it so well. I don't know. I just love this part where like her and Peter start like falling in love, eating it up, eating it up. spare time is for Hunger Games. I'm in the room. I'm in the room for the African wedding. I'm painting my toenails because I'm last minute like that, and I didn't want to pay American prices to get my toenails done. Like, I'm sorry, I don't really rate toenails like that. Maybe that's bad, but like my nails per my toenails not the same. They look a bit dull, but they match or whatever. Yeah, so spare time is for reading Hunger Games because that's what I've been doing. I've been escaping and I'm sitting here and I've been listening to Hunger Games. And Katniss, she's about to go into the arena. Peter has confessed his love. He's such a sweetheart. And can I just tell you, this is the true first enemies to lovers. This was my first enemies to lovers book. Well, the thing is, it's a bit complicated because like he always loves her. He's loved her from the start. He will always love her. She's back. Hello. Anyway, as I was saying, it's kind of complicated because it's an enemies to lovers from Katniss's perspective. Like, Katniss is like, who is this dude? Like, she shoves him against the wall. Like, yeah, love it. But he's like, I've loved you since day one. Yeah, he's like, she doesn't even know the effect that she can have. Screaming. But from Katniss's, it's an enemies to lover. So, and I suppose when you think about it, a lot of enemies to lovers is because of miscommunication and like one of them just doesn't know. So I think, especially because I have the whole context of the whole series, I'm very much picking up on his loving her from the start. But really, truthfully, it's an enemies to lovers from Katniss, and I'm screaming, I'm eating it up, I'm loving it, and yeah, I'm just doing my toenails and I'm living for it. Today, another day of escaping to watch Hunger Games. To read? Watch? Read.
I'll make a brand new start of it in old New York.
Guys, I'm in New York now, and we're renting out an Airbnb, so you are going to hear my family in the background, because we're a loud family, and that's great. I love it. Anyway, I'm here to say I just finished Hunger Games. I absolutely love it. My heart broke at the end. My heart broke again. And can I just say, I love reading this just as much as I love reading it every single time. And for some reason, because I haven't read it in a good couple of years, whereas I used to read it more regularly, I was concerned that I wouldn't love it as much. Lies. I loved it just as much. I loved it just as much as I ever have. It's just a great book. Like, it's so fast. There's no extra trim on it as well. Like, when I was reading it, I just thought there's no extra trim. Like, she just does what needs to be done. Like, it's short, it's sweet, it's simple, but it's not like dumbed down because it's like YA or whatever. I absolutely loved it. I loved it. Absolutely loved it. Ate it up. Peter is just a sweetheart gem guy. He is like the ultimate nice guy, and not even in a bad way. And like, he's the nice guy that you actually want. Like, not like let nice guys finish last. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, I'm now debating what to do because I brought hold on, wait for it. I brought all of us villains with me in anticipation. Bearing in mind the weddings and stuff only just finished last night, so I'm quite impressed that I managed to finish a book so far. But I brought all of us villains to read afterwards, but I actually think I want to read the whole trilogy first before I read this one. I don't know, I think I'm gonna, I don't know. Well, let me do the first line. We'll decide off the first line. There's a lovely map in it. Also, I'm meant to be doing a William. That's just kind of got out the window. It will be what it will be. It says, okay, the Lowe family have always been the undisputed villains of the... Let me try again because I can't read. The Lowe family had always been the undisputed villains of their town's ancient bloodstained story, and no one understood that better than the Lowe brothers. Boring! It's actually not boring, but like, I'm just not interested. I think I'm gonna download Catching Fire. Mockingjay? Catching Fire. Next. Even though that one, I don't know, Catching Fire. I just feel like, for me, I just love the first one the most. Then it's the second one, then it's the last one. The last one is just nowhere near as good. Well, it is, but like, it's sad. Also, I cried again. I cried at Rue. Rue made me cry again. I don't know what to say about that. Anyway, I don't know. I think I'm gonna download book 2 and get to cracking, because, yeah. Anyway, I think today's a sightseeing day, although it's kind of late. It's 2:30, but that's because, as I said, all the wedding festivities ended last night, so we need time to like calm down and debrief and chill out. But yeah, I'm gonna go put on some like quick fire everyday makeup, like just some under eye powder, brows, mascara, blush, and maybe a little bit of bronzer, and call it a day. And I'll see you when I see you. Hello, I don't know how long I have to film because I've been filming everything on holiday and I've got over, I think, about 600 photos that I need to upload to iCloud, but I'm happy my friend's been lasting strong. But anyway, I've finished book 2 of Hunger Games. I haven't even spoken to you about it and I've flown through it and I immediately wanted to start book 3 and I said, can we stop and just take a break, because I hadn't spoken to you. It was amazing. I absolutely loved it. I ate it up with a spoon. What was my favourite thing? My favourite thing was watching the relationship between Katniss and Peter develop. I think this is where you really see them fall in love, and that was just so sweet to watch, even though I knew what was going to happen. Also, similarly, just trying to re-familiarise myself, because I don't think this isn't the one that I go to. I always reread the first one. I don't really reread the second one as much, and the third one even less, because... So, yeah, I was just trying to re-familiarise myself with the key characters in the rebellion. You know what I mean? And Haymitch, I love Haymitch so much. And also, I was just trying to look and see who are the people who, like, knew stuff, but Katniss didn't see that they knew stuff. Like Effie, like we always think of Effie as like this dumb bimbo person, but who has a big heart. But like there are many times where Effie's like, and I'm like, because Effie knows, like she knows. The rebellion in this was just chef's kiss. I loved it. It was just rebellion, falling in love with Peter, which makes me sad for the next book, because what Suzanne Collin does to Peter is truly unforgivable. It's truly unforgivable. Why would you do that to such a sweet baby? I also love seeing Peter because in my memory, like, I feel like because of the movie, Peter becomes too much of a nice guy. And like, Peter is a nice guy, but he's got some banter. Like, he's a bit of a joke star. Like, he's got more depth to him than just a banter. He's got more depth to him in A, like, he's got banter, he's got jokes. B, like, his way with us, he's calculating, like, as well. Like, he knows what he's doing. Like, he's a calculated, like, looking at all the times where he's made like targeted speeches and stuff like that. Like, he's not dumb, he's not thick. And like, also his resistance, like, really and truthfully, it's Peter that makes Katniss into the resistance fighter that she becomes. Without Peter, she was not fighting. When Gail was talking about running off the woods in the first one, she's like, don't scare her. Also, it's kind of interesting because I feel like in the second one, you get to see more of Katniss's potential love triangle with Gale. I feel like it really develops in this one. The first one, Gale who? Gale where? You know what I mean? Anyway, I just came back from Broadway. Look at me. Living my best life. Living my best life. But yeah, so I'm going to pick up book 3. Because I want to. But I've started another book while I was waiting to update you. I finished it today on the way. Like, on my walks today. I finished it today. So I'm going to pick up book 3 at some point. I don't know when. Don't know how, because as I said, I picked up Book Lovers. I feel like there's really been a breakdown in communication. Like, I expected myself to feel more, talk more to you guys. But I haven't, because I've been on holiday. And I'm not mad. But you guys might be. I'm back. I haven't finished Hunger Games because I find the third one hard. Did I even tell you? Guys, I started the third one. I'm enjoying it. But at the same time, I'm finding it hard. I had to pause and I had to continue listening to Book Lovers because, like, I don't know, I find the third one really hard. Like, everyone is just going through it. Like, it's just like physical health is down the drain, mental health is down the drain. Just no one is happy. No one is falling in love. Like, family relationships down the drain, friendships down the drain. Well, I suppose not friendships, but just like, I don't know, it's just a lot, man. It's just a lot. So I've had to take a bit of a break on that, and I started listening to Book Lovers. Now, this isn't a Book Lovers review, but what I will say is I'm enjoying it. And it's like about a New Yorkian. That's not what they call themselves. It's about a New Yorker, and obviously I just came back from New York. If you're asking why she's so tired, why her glass is so dirty and she can't even be bothered to clean them, it's because it was a night flight and I didn't sleep. Well, I slept for maybe an hour, and it's now midday of the day that I landed, and I landed at 8 a.m. and I'm just tired. But here's what I think I'm going to do. I'm going to try and be useful. I'm going to try and put on the audiobook of Book Lovers because I actually don't want to read Mockingjay. I don't want to read her struggling. Do you know what? Also, spoilers. This hasn't really been a spoiler vlog, but spoilers, right? I know what's coming up and I don't want to read it. I don't want to read when Katniss gets Peter back and Peter doesn't recognize. I honestly don't think there's anything worse. I think that's one of the worst things I've ever read in a book. I think it's one of the worst things I've ever read. When Peter hates her. It's just so rough. I'm actually not looking forward to it. This is why I never reread book 3. Because why would I want to read this myself? I don't. Oh, poor Katniss. And like, Katniss was in proper depression. Like, was in proper depression. Like, clinical PTSD vibes, right? Full on grieving process. Like, a bitch was going through it. Only for her to find him again. And then, it's just too tragic. You know what I mean? That's why Reggie. Is that Reggie? What's his name again? I feel like his name was Reggie. Reggie. Can you imagine I've got a dog and I don't even know what his name is? I believe his name is Reggie. And I've had this for years, okay? I'm sorry, guys. I'm just not that much of a toy person. So I have this bear that I've had for years that stays on my bed with my other bear that I've had for years. This one doesn't have a name. This one is just Hello Kitty. And I got it when I was 11. And you know what? It's in pretty good nick, considering I've had it since I was 11. I don't really engage with them much. They kind of just sit on my bed like decorative pillows. Anyway, back to the point. But I needed Reggie now as a support to talk about Peter. Yeah, I'm not looking forward to that. And then I'm also not looking forward to Prim. Do you know what? There's just too much to not look forward to. But the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes trailer just dropped. I'm not even gonna lie, there's high levels of anxiety that I didn't bring a book with me. Hi guys, I'm back. I'm back from New York and I'm back to this video. I feel like I don't look like myself though. Strange behaviour. Anyway, I'm just here to say Mockingjay broke me. I am a broken woman. The woman in front of you is broken. I'm not the same. I will never be the same. And I was thinking, like, when I read this before, I was obviously affected. But this time it affected me. Like, Mockingjay is just sad. Like, from front to end, it's just sad. Like, Finnick, obviously Prim, but then all the other people, like Boggs, just terrible. It was just sad. And they're all just depressed. And I feel like maybe being older and being able to relate to more of those depressed feelings. Obviously, I've never been through anything that Katniss has been through, thank goodness. But maybe that's why it just hits different to when I was like 11 and I didn't know any of those similar feelings of being depressed. You know, it got me deep. And like, I'm not gonna lie, I've been in a bit of a reading slump since I've finished it. It's like, it's all I can think about. But yeah, I did my last full reread in 2019, so I would have been about 16, 17. So interesting. Again, I don't feel like I had that same gutting feeling. But again, I don't think I really experienced that when I was 16, 17 yet. So it's interesting to see how Mockingjay has aged as I've aged. It's absolutely a masterpiece. Like, Suzanne Collins actually put her everything into this series and it shows. Like, it's absolutely amazing. It's absolutely amazing. I mean, this is just a gush fest. There's literally no words. It's now the It's now the 14th of May. I came back on the 28th of April. That's how long it's taken me to get over Mockingjay so that I can come back and talk to you. Like, when I said it affected me, I meant it affected me. Like, I was a bit sad. I'm not gonna lie. Like, it was just a lot emotionally. It was just a lot emotionally for me to deal with. Like, I become so attached to the characters. Also, I've forgotten the main person, Peter. Oh my god. Witnessing what happened with Peter was one of the worst things I've ever experienced. I'm obviously exaggerating, but honestly, just with Peter, the whole thing, watching the whole thing with Peter go down was just tragic. And it was just tragic. It was just tragic. And I think the whole book was made worse because I knew exactly what was happening. And I knew exactly what was coming up. I mean, I will say there are things that I kind of like, okay, forgot is a strong word because I didn't really forget anything. But like, I knew what was coming up. I didn't know it like exactly what was going to be on the next page, if that makes sense. So knowing what was coming up made it worse because I was literally like the whole time from the second book onwards. I was like because I knew what was happening to Peter and what was going to come out and stuff like that. Yeah, it's rough. It's so rough, but it's amazing. I feel like it's hard because I was about to say there's no book recently that's affected me in the same way that Mockingjay does, but I will say that I don't usually consume books that would make me feel this way. If I know a book's gonna be sad like this, I would avoid it because I'm a weak person. Okay, no, I am strong in certain ways, but in this way I know that I'm a bit of a wimp. I'm a bit of a crybaby, so I'm like, oh, it's gonna make me cry, it's gonna make me sob. Absolutely not. Hard pass. But what I will say is that this is written for young adults. Fuck me. Like, she does not pull any punches. I don't want to be too judgmental to the current YA that's coming out because, again, I don't really consume a lot of it to know. But, like, there were no punches held. There were no punches held. In fact, I don't know. I'm just thinking about it. Like, there was gore. There was everything. The only thing that wasn't in it that to me made it feel YA was like there was no explicit or not really any sex scenes going on. A lack of like language. Well, I feel like a lot of books lack language, like swear words and stuff, but yeah, but those two are really what makes it YA because it's not the gore, it's not the violence, and it's not the emotional feeling. But talking about the lack of sex, it's interesting because I've deep dived down this rabbit hole of Hunger Games, I've since seen online this thing about Katniss being aromantic or asexual, and I never engaged with that before. Well, obviously, as I said, I was 10 to 11 at the time that I first read it. And I've never really gotten into the online fandom of Hunger Games for some reason. Despite my love for Hunger Games, I've never really been a fandom person. I've never read any fan fiction. I will correct that. I've never read any fan fiction. I've never really gone online and so there's been things that I found out now that people have been talking about for years and things that have happened retrospectively, like finding out about the day Rue became black. I was like, what? That was a whole thing. I didn't even know that went on back then. I was sheltered. I was a sheltered little 10-year-old girl just excited to watch the movie. Did not know that this whole like fan casting thing was going on. Anyway, that's besides the point. Well, it's not besides the point. But yeah, so I suppose it's probably been going around since today about Katniss being asexual and aromantic lead. And I find that very interesting. I think that it does lean into those conversations of there's not enough good... I won't say good. There's just not enough representation of asexual or aromantic characters on page, and so I feel like there's a lot of like typecasting. Is that what the right word is? I don't know if that's the right word at all.
No, it's not, Kemi. No, it's not. What I meant to say was that there is a lot of asexual coded characters because of the lack of explicit representation.
But I just feel like, it's not explicitly put on page. And a lot of people, I watched, there's a whole video essay about like asexual representation on screen, a whole video essay, and it's very good. I'll link it, and I think it kind of leads to that. However, saying all of that, I do think they're right. I think you could definitely say Katniss is aromantic, and also I want to put a caveat that like, yeah, it's not on the page, like it's not that terminology isn't on the page, but in the same way that I think that language wasn't as prevalent when the book came out. Not that it didn't exist, but like I don't know. but I just think it wasn't as prevalent. Like, well, I'm saying all of this, but again, my perspective, I was 10 years old, so maybe it was prevalent and I didn't know about it because I was 10 years old. 10 or 11. But also it makes sense to me that it's not on page in that language as well, because obviously like there's so many things going on with the world. Like there's just less time to talk about I'm asexual, and I'm going to use that term to identify myself. So I can understand why in Katniss's case it's a bit like, okay, well, there's no need for Katniss to be spending page time debating that, when she's already said, I don't want to have kids, I'm not really looking for a partner like that. That's all you really need to know. That's all she really needs to say. Okay, I can kind of get that. But yeah, anyway, all of that to say, I definitely think that I could, in my eyes, in my brain, I'm not telling anybody else what they think, but in my brain, after hearing that, and after being like, oh, okay, I would definitely say Katniss is aromantic. I would definitely say Katniss is on the asexual umbrella. She's definitely under the umbrella, you know? And I think there's many different shades of loveliness underneath the umbrella. But yeah, anyway, all of that to say, absolutely loved it. I loved rereading this. This wasn't a very good video. I feel like it was just like me reading it, sometimes coming back talking to you, and sometimes just gushing and just living my life in New York, in London. I'm such a privileged person. In New York and in London, wow. Reading your favourite books, wow. I mean, there's going to be lots of other content around Hunger Games. I'm going to be posting that. This is a whole vlog series or just a booktube series, because I'm going to be posting this. I think I'm going to be doing a reading Hunger Games fan fiction, since I've discovered that. Obviously, then the next up after this, directly, there should be another video of me reading the books that I compared. So just keep an eye out. Obviously, Songbirds and Snakes and Songbirds book is coming out soon. 1 second, bear with me. The question is, do I do a reread? I reckon I do a reread. And I've watched the trailer, and then that's another Hunger Games video. But will my channel slowly become a Hunger Games dedication page? Am I mad at that? No, this is my time in my 20s, 10 years plus after it was launched, after it was published, for me to become the ultimate fangirl. I'm not even mad. It's my fangirl moment. It's my fangirl era. Oh, hey Mitch in this as well. Oh, Effie. Oh, there's just so much. There's just so much about Mockingjay that I love with my entire heart. I respect Suzanne Collins so much for the way that she's done this trilogy. First of all, she didn't drag it out. That it didn't need to be any more. It didn't need to be any less. She did perfect. I mean, up until we got to this massive chonker for absolutely no bloody reason. What I love was that it was a trilogy, but it kept the same things that you loved in the first one going in the second and the third. Because I feel like often with like these sorts of setups, it's hard to give you a second book or a third book that has that same intrigue that makes you love the first one. But obviously she's done it. She's got the first Hunger Games arena in book 1, and then in book 2 she has the Hunger Games arena 2, like the Quarter Quell. And yet, so it's different from the first book. It's not exactly the same. So you're not reading it thinking this is just exactly the same book, but it still has the same things that you loved in book 1, but it's just escalated it and just made it even better. So that's the Quarter Quell. And then in the last one, obviously we've got the Rebellion, but even in the Rebellion, she still manages to make it like, there's this one bit where she's like, the Hunger Games is still going on. And it's just like the way that she's tied in the Hunger Games. So basically each book has its own sort of vibe of having that arena and that fighting to stay alive moment. Absolutely loved it. She's amazing. She's smart. Alrighty guys, this isn't the exact outro because I don't know what's coming up next, but just in case, bye guys. Thank you so much for staying with me in this madness of my life and madness of me and my love for Hunger Games. All right, I'll speak to you guys soon. See you soon. Look out for the extra Hunger Games content. Bye.
I'll make a brand new start of it in old New York.